Now, okay, here we go. So what happens in areas, rural areas from here, all the way up, in fact, down to the Eastern Cape here, so that's the southern extremity of where this happens, all the way up apparently into Ethiopia, you have this tree called Ziziphus mucronata, and I mean, legend has it that it was the tree from which the crown of thorns over which Christ's, or that was put on Christ's head, was made of this very tree, Ziziphus mucronata, or the buffalo thorn. So even in Christian culture, it has some sort of significance. But out here, what happens is people are very attached to burying their kith and kin at home. So if somebody dies away from home, you'll go and fetch the body, you'll return it probably to the homestead where they were born, or certainly the marital homestead, and there they will be buried. The concept of cremation is absolutely anathema. The thought of burning a body and then scattering the ashes to the local people out here is completely taboo. So it doesn't happen. But if you bring the body of someone home, often it doesn't mean that you brought their spirit. So what normally happens is a cousin or a sibling will be dispatched to fetch the body and the spirit. But in order to fetch the spirit, you have to take a piece of this tree. So you either take a piece of the tree from home, or you pick it in the place where the body has died. And what you do, if you can see the horns, not the horns, the thorns, one straight and one hooked. What you do is you go to the place where the person died, where your relative died, and you sweep up the spirit. You sort of perform some kind of spirit sweeping ceremony, of which I'm not familiar. Well, that's what you do. And then the spirit is captured in the branch of the buffalo thorn. And then you come and you buy, and it comes time to you to buy your train ticket or your ticket in the taxi, and you purchase 2 tickets. And you put this onto the seat next to you. I'm going to put it over there where we can sort of see it. Well, I'll put it on the dashboard, sorry, Brian. And you make sure nobody sits in the seat on the taxi or on the train. You make sure that you provide it with company, you provide it with conversation, probably not food. And people would be completely fine with you doing this because they would know exactly what you were doing. They might ask you about who it was that you were transporting, even though it was just a thorny bush. And so you drive all the way back home on the train, on the plane, probably not so much on a plane, or on a taxi. And then when you got home, you'd stop and everyone would come and greet you, and you'd be carrying your ancestor with you. Well, not your ancestor, your cousin or your sibling. It's normally a cousin who's not quite as emotionally attached as a sibling or a parent would be. And then after the funeral, once the body has been buried, this, which contains the spirit of your dead relative, would be placed on the grave. And in so doing, the circle of bringing your relative home to rest completely and peacefully would be complete. And that, Richard, is the story of Ziziphus mucronata, or the buffalo thorn.